Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Big Three, the podcast where we unpack the biggest stories and insights shaping influencer marketing and the creator economy. I'm your host, Ceci Carloni. Joining me today is Jo Wong, Chief Revenue Officer and General Manager of Pop.Store, the agentic AI commerce platform built for creators. You may have seen the news. Pop.Store is the title sponsor of VidCon Anaheim 2026 happening later this month. They are using VidCon as a launchpad for EcoMe, their new agentic AI platform built to give everyday creators the kind of operating power that used to require a full team behind them. Today, we are going to unpack who Jo is, what Pop.Store is building, what EcoMe actually does for creators, and why VidCon is the moment they chose to make their biggest statement yet. Jo, welcome to the Big Three. Nice to have you here.
Thank you so much, Ceci. Nice to meet you. I'm really happy to be here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time. I know we'll be having a great conversation about VidCon, EcoMe, Pop.Store, and everything that you're building. So let's actually kick things off with you. Let's start with your background. Tell us a bit about it, and what do you think it's been the through line connecting all of it?
Yeah, I think if someone looked at my experience to be like, wait, this is kind of random. Sometimes I think that way. I look at my resume. I started in management consultant, been in private equity, was also a co-founder myself, and now obviously CRO and GM here. And when I think about it, it's like I always think about my career in like two different ways, right? One is not really just about an industry, but what draws me to it. For me, the
Perfect.
heart of it is working with amazing management team and founders and helping them scale and build something really impactful, right? So it's always about the pain point that you're trying to solve. And then on the second part of it is how can they solve these pain points in a very scalable way? Right. So it brings down to operating systems, scalable systems that can truly bring a great product to the masses. So that's really been what I think about, what excites me. And that's really how I think about all the different parts of my career, which then ended up me at Pop.Store today.
Yeah, yeah. What I want to focus on that, Jo, what you just mentioned, because at some point you made this deliberate move into the creator economy specifically. Tell us a bit about what did you see in the space that made you feel this was the most, interesting infrastructure problem in front of you.
I think what really drew me in was because there was so many parallels to what we've seen. So like the best way I describe to people is if you think 10, 15 years ago, right, what Shopify did for e-commerce. A long time ago, many people don't remember this, but it was a time in our life where to start a business, you had to start a store, a physical store.
Yeah.
Then Shopify, and Shopify made it possible for anyone to start an online business. You could be selling a bar of soap, any services, it could be clothing. They made it so possible on a scale that no one else, right? And they've
Yeah.
enabled a whole generation of people to shop online because of that, and a whole generation of entrepreneurs to build businesses. I see that exactly in the creator economy today, which drew me to the sector overall. So look at where we live today, right? I think there's two. One is discovery. We're all so comfortable discovering everything on
Mhm.
social media. It no longer is like, oh, it's a cheap item, so I'm okay buying it from this influencer or creator.
Yeah.
It's like we truly trust the recommendation and find and discover, and that's where it lives now. And then and the intersection of that is the role of the influencer, right? That and the definition have exploded. At Pop.Store, and from my experience, is like what is so exciting is that you're not just working with what people traditionally define as creator, which is the lifestyle creators as what people
Yeah.
think, maybe like 5 years ago, but now is anyone that has a story, something to share, something to
Okay.
sell. And I love that intersection. But at the heart of it is there isn't that Shopify version of this. That yet, like this industry has matured, has grown so much, but there isn't a systematic way for creators to think about really monetizing and building a sustainable business of what they have on social media. It is still very much like I post here, then I do that, but there's nothing that makes it
Yeah.
easy for them to grow. And that's the problem that I want to solve that drew me to this space.
Okay. Jo, you just mentioned that the industry has grown and matured a lot. I want to focus on there for a minute. What is your honest read on where we are right now in the creator economy? What do you think feels different about this moment compared to, maybe even 2, 3 years ago?
Yeah. I'll say like 3 years ago when we talked to creators, the mindset has always been like brand deals was king. It's like, okay, I
Yeah,
must work with the biggest, sexiest brands in the industry. And that's how I'm going to build my entire platform. I'm chasing follower number and I'm chasing my brand deals. But I'll say that in the last like 2, 3 years, especially the last 12 months, that conversation and mindset has really shift because the creative
absolutely.
economy is maturing. A lot of creators like, oh, wait, this is my business. I am a CEO. It's not a hobby. I just post and that's it. And because brand deals come and go. So I'm seeing a lot of creators actually ask very mature questions like a CEO that goes like, how do I actually build a business? Can I own my
A
audience?
complete
Can I own
mindset shift.
Exactly, a complete mindset shift. So is that like entrepreneurs truly, not just content makers, right? And that's been so refreshing to see. And I think that because the industry shifts so much, conversations even in the last 6 months has really changed. Like 6 to 9 months ago, like creators have been like, oh wait, they're a little apprehensive about AI. They go like, oh wait, this, I don't want to
Yeah.
use it. Like, oh no, it's gonna like replace me and like all that. There's a lot of like apprehension. But my conversation with creators in the last just 3 to 6 months is like, okay, it's important part of my workflow. How do I use it? How do I get ahead of it? What should I do? And I think that has really shifted a lot of the conversations we've had,
Yeah.
like that I'm really seeing.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, before we go deeper into VidCon and how you're activating there, I want to make sure that everyone listening really understand what Pop.Store is actually building. So, for listeners who are new to Pop.Store, how would you describe what the company does and the problem that you're actually solving for creators?
Yeah. So like I would describe so the easy way for someone to understand, right, is Popstore does two things. On one side, we give creators this beautiful social first storefront, right? You can monetize and sell anything you want from digital products, bookings, affiliate deals, community, but the main thing is it's yours. It's a space that's truly yours, just like a Shopify would. You own the audience data that comes with it.
Super
But we go beyond.
important.
Yeah, exactly. And then the second part that we do, what makes us truly unique, is like you teed us up at the introduction, is we built an agentic AI operating system that can actually run tasks for creators autonomously. We help creators create content for them and like sellable PDFs to videos to to images, all the way to helping them engage their audience, nurture them, and we also help them sell products at the right time when the moment is right. So the
Yeah.
problem we're trying to solve for is that a lot of creators today, they got into the business of being a creator because they want to create content and they're ultra creative and have all these ideas they want to bring to life. But the reality sinks in and sets in where they spend 80% of the time responding to DMs, checking their emails, trying to negotiate brand deals, like everything except creating. So the
Yeah.
problem we want to solve for is how can we take away the daily grind for them so that they can focus on tasks
On the
around
creative.
creativity. Exactly, because that's what they're good at. They don't need to, like, do all the
Yeah.
admin work, right? So that's really the problem I want to solve for and allow any creator of any size to be able to scale without a big team.
Yeah.
And that's really what excites us every day, especially in the context of VidCon.
Joe, you mentioned Shopify before, and I know that Pop.Store is often described as the Shopify for creators. I think that's a clean, like memorable comparison. But tell us, where does it hold up, and where does it fall short of capturing everything that you're really building?
Yeah. I have so much respect for what Shopify have built, and I love that that comparison is resonating. I think that where it, like, is very different, so Shopify is, like, perfect, what I call the bottom of the funnel, right? It's like, I have a product
Okay.
to sell. It's where people go to transact, and they do it so well. It's all about the conversion optimization of the bottom of the funnel for Shopify. But when I think about PopStore, I want to be there for the entire creator life cycle, right? We're not just at the moment of conversion and selling. Like I just shared, right? We help you with content creation, which is often the start of the journey. You have to like unpack your idea into say a sellable PDF to sell digital download. We do that for you, right? We also help you drive your social traffic to your own destination, right? And then we also help you engage and nurture your audience in your voice, in your cadence. And then we also move the people that want to sell at the right time. And
Yeah.
that's when we push the selling offer to them. So that's what I call the end-to-end creator life cycle when they think about it. It's not just about the sales, but everything else before that we do. And why this is so important for the creator world, you and I probably are familiar with funnels and funnel stages,
Yeah.
but when you talk to a lot of creators, they're like, they don't think that way.
Wait,
For
what?
them, everything. right? For them, everything is part of their job, right? They don't think about funnels the way traditional marketing people do. And that's why it's important for Pop.Store to be there across a one platform, a smart platform that they need that will help them throughout their day, not just one part of the day.
Yeah. Joe, I want to go deeper into the AI agentic platform, basically Ecomi. Tell us, again, for someone hearing about it for the first time, can you go a bit deeper? Tell us what it actually does for a creator and what does it change about, how they operate day to day?
I think the best way for me to make it very simple to understand is doing a before and after comparison, right?
Okay, I
So
love that.
if you think about before Echome existed, a creator day is like you wake up, you respond to a ton of comments, scroll through your flooded DM inbox and the dreaded request tab. The tab of like spam where you like, but yet collab requests and brand deals fall in there, right? You spend hours doing that. Then you've manually follow up with followers like, oh wait, I think this person might buy my course. You're doing all this manually. And then on top of that, you have to find time to shoot content every single day
Yeah,
because you cannot not be present on social media. That's what it looks like before Echo Me
before.
exists. Now with Echo Me, right? While they're heads down doing content, this is what Echo Me does for them in the background. Their agent team can run their business end to end. So comments and DMs, Echo Me can respond to them in their voice in their cadence. Or if it's not on auto mode, it can just be drafted for them. They review and approve it. So again, takes
Okay.
away the drafting amount of time, right? And then the second is when comments are when people are commenting your post showing intent to buy something or engage, we will make sure to respond to the comment and send them a DM to the right destination. So if you're doing like a Elo Yoga
Okay.
like deal, it will automatically move them across the funnel without any manual interference from the creator. And then on top of it, we also help you study your entire follower base and analytics. So I can say, hey, Ceci is truly a top fan, while Joe is a average follower. So this is what you can engage and nurture Ceci with. For example, a course that is higher intent, while Joe should just get a nice friendly note from you just to keep nurturing your relationship. All that is done by
Yeah.
Echo Me.
Yeah.
So when all this is happening in the background, it also scans your DMs for deals and only flags you when a deal meets your requirement. So everything is done for you while you're shooting content. So think about how much more free time someone gets. One of our top creators they've been like experimenting with Echo Me and using it part of his workflow for a year now, more than a year. He actually told me that he saves at least 2 hours a day because of Echo Me. So that 2 hours is now going to building his business, negotiating better deals, like just even if he just wants to go to the gym, that's also okay.
I was
Time to
gonna say work-life balance. I mean,
exactly. Go sit on the beach and go get some fresh air. But either way, that really excites me when I hear that, right? It's about saving time so that you can focus on what your business needs
yeah.
without like overstretching yourself.
Joe, I'm curious. You just mentioned the your team of agents. Is are those the four different agents, sorry, that Ecomi runs through?
Yeah. So we actually have 5 agents now and we continue building
Oh,
8.
okay.
Really depends because we listen to creators and the feedback and they say, "Hey, I want wait, can it do this too?" And then we evolve our product and the number
Now
of
that
agents we have.
they're just getting picky.
Exactly. So, yes. So, like, we have a social engagement agent. That's an agent that can respond to comments and DMs in your voice on your schedule for you. And like I said, for this one, this is where you can have a manual or auto mode. It can just draft responses for you and you can approve it, then it gets sent. Or you can put it on an auto mode where it gets the comments out for you. And then we have the comment to DM agent. That is the agent that will help you recognize response to comments that have intent and move them to the right destination link at the right time. And then our auto selling agent is also similar, but in the sense that it can then scrape and understand follower analytics and intent. How much of a fan are you and help you nurture those relationships? The deal monitoring agent is the fourth one, which actually monitors the dreaded request inbox and all your inboxes on Meta to really make sure that you don't lose a brand deal or collab request, right? Based on your requirements. And then lastly, our new one is an AI listing agent, which is specifically made for the real estate. But no matter what we build, I think what threads all of them is it comes to what I just shared is like what are the biggest time suck and pain point a creator goes, man, this is terrible. I don't
Mm.
want to do this. And that those are the moments that we want to share because ultimately I want to help them sell more and actually build a business. And that's really always what we come back to when we're thinking about what to develop creators that we work with.
Yeah. Well, Joe, now that we understand what you're building, I want to focus on VidCon. I want to hear especially how the partnership came together. How did it start? What the conversations look like, and what actually made you say yes to becoming the title sponsor?
So it started with us just going last year. So last year we were not title sponsor. We had an activation space, but was not one of the top, sponsors. And what I really took away from it was like the creator economy is so energetic, energizing. People truly show up to
Yeah.
learn more from each other, to swap tips, to really understand how to take themselves up to the next level. And that's like it. And every conversation I had kept iterating that. They were really hungry for like, wait, I want to launch a book. I want to launch my business. I have a bar. How do I market it? I met so many creators of different shapes and forms of different verticals. And yet they all came back with like, I want to be better and I need tools to help me be better. And that really stuck with me. So when I was having conversations with the VidCon team about this year, I was like, it's also the 15-year anniversary. I was like, it is
Exactly.
not just a conference, right? It's really where people show up to learn and show up to be part of something bigger, and that really resonated on like what we want to build. We're really the infrastructure and operating system for the everyday creator, for the aspiring creator, and for creators of all shapes and sizes. And that's really what I got inspired by and what made me go like, absolutely, please, I would like to be your title sponsor for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, you just mentioned the 15th year anniversary of VidCon. When you look at when you look at when VidCon started and where it is today, did that trajectory play into your thinking when you decided this was the right, stage for Pop.Store?
Yeah, I think absolutely was like if 15 years ago when they started VidCon, I don't think they realized what it would become. It was like, oh, a handful of YouTubers, hey, let's just
Yeah.
get together, swap notes, and back then the influencer world looked so different, right? Now it's like 200 million professional creators in the world, and it's like, I don't know, like 480 billion, something you can correct,
Yeah.
fact check
A
me on
crazy
like the
number.
industry, crazy, crazy billions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes and in a creator industry, 15 years is like 150 years in an industry
Mm.
because every year it changes so much. And I think this really, like when I look at the 15-year mark for VidCon and even for Popstore, it's such a pivotal point because despite all the growth, like this is the moment I feel like the creator economy has really matured versus what it was. You have that
100%.
of building businesses, something that none of us have seen in
Yes.
the last few years. And what really excited me about this year is the VidCon team really recognizing this shift. And all my conversations with them is always about, okay, how can we lean in more in mentorship? How do we lean in more really talking about infrastructure operating systems this year to help people grow and scale, right? Okay, we need all the sessions to have something key and tangible for the takeaway. And that like spoke to my heart. So,
Mhm.
like, it's not a fan meetup, it's truly a giant community event when people learn how to build businesses, and this
Yeah.
shift is a big part of it, and, like, Echo Me has been around, like, we launched it earlier this year and been in beta forever because we wanted to make sure we can train our test our AI. We chose this moment to really unveil it because I felt like it was such a great pairing of that pivotal shift towards VidCon focusing on systems, infrastructure, and also tangible education
Yeah.
for creators and us supporting all the themes that they want to work on. So it was like a beautiful coincidence for all of it to come together this
Absolutely.
year.
Absolutely. Joe, last question before we discuss how you're showing up at VidCon this year. Was the decision to sponsor VidCon always connected to, the Ecomi launch, or did those two things come together later?
And I was already trying to find a perfect moment to unveil like Echo Me to like a bigger audience, right? And then when I was chatting with the VidCon team, actually we started chatting with them last December already, and I was like, oh wait, maybe this is the moment I've been looking for, right? Where else can I get my brand, our platform in front of a group of creators that are there to learn and become better versions of themselves and want to build businesses? So it felt like it was a clear, perfect match. And we actually been since being in the market, we have over 20,000 creators with us already. And I really want to use this moment to broaden that reach to really get more people to understand who we are. And so this is the right moment, I would say, just kind of worked out.
Well, let's talk. about how it actually looks like on the ground. I know that Pop.Store is hosting the opening day
Mhm.
keynote with John Ushuae, which includes a live demo of EcoMe. What can people expect from that session, and why did a live demo feel like, the right way to introduce this product to a VidCon audience?
Yeah. So, like, taking a step back, like, when we're structuring out programming in general for VidCon, one of my main goals was how can I demystify AI for people? Because right now there's a lot of throwaway words. There's a lot of AI for the sake
Absolutely.
of AI in the industry, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
like AI. Wait, I need to use it. I don't know what I should do. So like we really approach all of our programming in general with that lens of like, I want people to walk out excited about how to build a business, have tangible, like I can do this tomorrow, and also not afraid of AI with tangible, again, action steps on how to integrate AI like EchoMe into their workflow. So that's kind of like the attitude we approached it. And then in conversations, I think little background about John, I'm sure you know him, but he's such a leading creative voice. He's been there in the old ages from, like, YouTube days all the way to Instagram. He's truly built every infrastructure, every program for creators. Obviously, now with his involvement with Mr. Beast and everything, having someone like him to moderate and be with us and is such a huge nod of approval and excitement for me
I
as
love that.
GM. And so, like, the session is broken out into 2 parts. One is a sit down with our CEO, and John will moderate that fireside chat, really talking through the development process, why we built what we built and the AI behind it. Again, to demystify, right? Like, how does it actually work? How do we train it? How does the privacy eradicate all their concerns? And then we want to do a live demo. And the reason for the live demo is showing is always better than telling. Like
Absolutely.
you can say it a million words like I just did in the last 30 minutes, and you're probably like, wait, I kind of get what is it? And that's why I want to do it. I've been very inspired by like all how Apple do their keynote when you're like, oh man, I want that Apple phone. Looks so that's really been an inspiration. And I think that's really why we want to focus on the live demo. That's like it's gonna be the key so they can walk away like, I want to use this or I know what I can do with
Yeah.
AI. Wow, I've never thought about it that way.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Is the live demo the one that you're describing as galactic mission control environment?
No, that is like
Separate.
so many yes, separate. We have
Okay.
multiple, like, activation spaces, and we've strategically chose multiple ways to activate a VidCon for that reason.
I
So on the
love that.
expo floor, we have the Galactic Mission Control is this massive pop-up that we're doing, and people are like, "Galactic Mission, what are you trying to do?" This is not just because I love Ryan Gosling and the space movies, fantastic. Because, like, what we're trying to build is the command center for a creator, right? It's like mission control. So we, like, leaned in really hard on our galactic mission control environment. So that's an activation downstairs on the expo booth, and we picked that because we want everyone to be able to experience it, not just, like, a certain, like, pass holder, and that's really each corner of the space, would actually have live demos as well in case people don't make it to the keynote, right? Because
Mhm.
that's like on a Thursday. So every booth, every side of the booth is dedicated, has a corner dedicated to an agent. And actually we actually have games that you can play with our AI called Echo Me.
I love
Echo
that.
Me actually have a figure. So you can then actually walk up to the creative area, actually generate a live PDF, generate yourself AI images and videos, see how good the technology is. You can walk up to a deal monitor agent and see, wait, can you find all these deals faster than our AI? You probably can't. And we have a section that also looks at how we recognize intent, how we're responding to all this. Like, does our AI can actually understand your personality, right? That's one corner. So it's a game that you can play. And then the last corner
Okay.
will also showcase how our storefront looks, what we're calling the listing agent for real estate look like, and why it matters. So all of it comes together. And in the middle, mission control, we're actually going to do live demos like 4 times a day in partnership with different creators doing meet and greets with us, really to bring it to life where I'll be leading those personally. So that's really what we're doing on the first floor. And we have like a smaller experience in VIP Village to engage, like, again, using AI scares people because we think that it cannot understand us fully. So a lot of our experience is like,
Yeah.
okay, give AI a go. Can we actually understand your voice, your cadence, your schedule, and put us to the test? And so we have another experience in the VIP Village on the second floor in Creator Track as well. So all the different experiences meant for you to get a good holistic understanding, like I said, not just what Pop.Store do, but the how AI can truly be helpful for you in a non-intimidating way.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see everything live, Joe. But I wanna shift gears for a minute and ask you something a bit, maybe a little more personal. Being a title sponsor is a big visible bet. What does this launch mean to you specifically? What do you want to feel, walking out of that opening keynote?
Yeah. I'm like really the Pop.Store team, we're really passionate about what we're doing. And like for me, like you said, this is deeply personal. It's like a lot of time and investment, huge investment for our side. But for me, it's like two things. I think one is when I went to last year, right? A lot of the creators we spoke to literally is like there was this mom trying to launch a kid's book, and then someone's like trying to launch a cooking thing. They're just creators that are so many different parts of the journey that I met at VidCon, and some of them are struggling, and some of them feel like I don't know how to do this by myself, or like, wait, I grew really quickly in the last year. I don't know what to do. I really want them to know that they're not alone and like you don't have to do it the old way, right? There is a better alternative for you to really scale yourself, your
Absolutely.
business into like something that you can truly love, right? Because all the time we hear a creative burnout because they have to do content and run a business. So I think this is such a great moment for us to show up in that capacity, and it speaks so truly to the ethos of the company and why we build it. And then and secondly, like we talked about, mentioned it so many times now, is the demystifying of AI. So much AI for the sake of AI in the world today. It's always like, "Oh, do I need this AI? I guess I do. Everyone's using it." So how do I use it without losing my lightness, my voice, myself? And yet, like, because like creators have to be original and creative to succeed. It's not about the viral post, but about you and your content and your relations, your community. So I really want to have safe spaces for them to have these conversations with us and know that like they will be able to scale the way they want to, true to themselves, true to their journey.
Joe, another question, also more focus on you. I know that you're speaking now on two panels. Can you give us an overview of what those are about and what you're planning to cover?
Yeah, so the first one I'm actually talking on is gonna be a left field one for a lot of people out there. We're actually gonna do a panel. I'm doing a panel on Saturday that's about real estate agents exploding sales on social media. This is
Okay.
actually the first time real estate agents are getting featured at VidCon. I call them non-traditional creators, which is
Yeah.
why I told the VidCon team like I must have this panel. I know it sounds weird and random, but go with me.
Trust me, I know.
It's like you and I just spoke about how the industry is like exploding, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be a creator, right? Everyone does it a side hustle or not. But what also I've noticed is the rise of social first businesses that need to use like social media. They have to
Yeah.
become a creator because be it a founder, a coach, you could be a physiotherapist. Either way, you have to draw business to you
100.
and you have to lead gen and you have to use social media. There's sort of like no way around it. And real estate is so interesting because there's like literally so many reality TV shows from Million Dollar Listing, you have Selling Sunset, a million versions of it that's really real estate agents are really influencers in your own right, and they've built such crazy strong community. Think about a real estate agent. The ticket of a sale is so high, right? It's not like a $50 dress. You're really there, but yet these agents are so amazing. They can build trust and authenticity on social media to close big deals. And that's what I want to use this to focus on because that's so much learning for this panel that seems random and not relevant, but yet it is. It is that, and I'm so proud to really be able to focus to feature non-traditional creators because I really think it's where it's going to go. You're going to have more and more folks like this, your financial advisors. We've already seen the uptick in that, the knowledge creators, and I think that segment is really going to boom. So I'm really hoping I'm the first ones to kind of like blow it out at
Okay.
VidCon. It's like very exciting for me. We have a great kind of lineup for that with different big names joining us. And then the second panel I'm going to be on, it's like speaks true to my heart is on an industry track. So it's going to be the state of the creator economy, kind of where we're going. So very much what we've
Okay.
been discussing, where we think the creator
Yeah.
economy is going to go, what should people watch out for and learn. So I won't give away everything, but like that's really going to be a big focus, which is what you and I've already been discussing today.
Absolutely. Joe, before we start wrapping up the conversation and zooming out to a couple of questions that I have for you regarding the broader creator economy. I know that VidCon pulls together fans, creators, industry professionals all at once, which is obviously a pretty wide room to speak to. How do you think about having one activation that lands meaningfully across
Yeah.
all of those three?
I think what's interesting for us is that this is actually perfect for us because like today we already support a wide variety of verticals for creators. I have your traditional creators, we have knowledge creators, people selling like cookbooks all the way to services to real estate with us. So I actually think that our technology applies to different peoples and different walks of life. A fan could have a business that they would like, oh wait, social media is important to me,
Mm.
or they're just there to experience what AI could be and could be a learning point for them. Obviously, creators will have a strong need there. And even with industry professionals, because a lot of them have actually a side hustle these days, posting as a founder, as a media person and whatnot. So I think for us, we've really kept that deliberate, and that's why we have different experiences on different floors and different corners of VidCon. So on the second floor for our creator track, we can have something more targeted at creators. For the VIP village, we have something more targeted at the larger
Yeah,
creators. And while the expo floor, we have something that can target across the board. So our messaging will always be, it's all about infrastructure and saving time. And I think that's something that everybody can resonate. Everyone wants a better way
absolutely.
to be more efficient and want more time back. Like you said, better work-life balance. So
Yeah.
who wouldn't want that? So I think that's really the lens that we think about constantly, is because I want to integrate really nicely into the full experience that someone can have when they walk through those doors.
Okay. Well, Joe, before I let you go, I want to zoom out one more time and go back to that crazy number that we were talking about before. The creator economy is projected to reach 480 billion by 2027, billion dollars, obviously, by 2027. But most creators are still running everything alone. No team, no infrastructures, no system. If agentic AI closes that gap, what does the creator economy actually look like on the other side of that shift? What do you think will fundamentally change?
Yeah. I think what changes fundamentally is the scale and the speed of growth that we've seen in every single direction. So what I really mean by that is that with agentic AI being available for the creator economy, right? Something like Echo Me and Pop.Store available, the definition of creators would just keep broadening. More and more people who do it more people can then do it on the side. Because most of the time they're like, oh, wait, after work, I can only do content. I can't do the admins, right? You're going to have more and more people participating in this economy. So the sheer volume of creators are going to grow even more, right? And I think this will then usher in with even more what I've been calling non-traditional creators. That volume of participation is going to explode even further because it closes the need for a team. It closes the need for like specific, like, "Oh, I need to go patch like 6 different tools in order to be successful." So we're going to see that big shift just by participation and then the number of creators that are going to enter in. And then on the other side of the equation, because of the agentic side of like being kind of like adopted so quickly by creators, I think what you're going to notice is that they're going to push out more time on content. I think this is then
Right.
going to have trickle down effect into the consumer. We already, society is now we're getting so used to like, wait, should I eat at this restaurant? I'm going to look up it on TikTok first
Yeah.
and let me think about it, right?
I
We're
know I
all
do that.
Exactly. Everyone is wired like that. Should I buy this? Let me go check my creator's recommendation
Yeah.
again across every price point, right? I think that shift because of better quality and better suited content, because creators will then have more time to focus on creativity. We're going to see that trickle down effect for consumers to have more tailored content for them to then transact. So then it will then continue evolving the growth of social commerce as well. So it's going to be both, right? The growth in creator economy, which will then result in the growth in social commerce and what we buy. And at the heart of it, the most successful creators won't just be like the viral ones. It's actually who has the right system, the right infrastructure to help them grow and scale in a smart way. Because content will always be king. Community is always going to be the one that win. The authenticity and the relationship you have with your followers will win. So it's not about how many people view that, but it's like, how can you make people feeling you care and you're pushing out something relevant for them? And you only have time to do that if your systems are actually scalable.
100%. Joe, last question. If you could tell every creator watching that VidCon keynote just one thing, something that you genuinely believe that most people in the industry are still not taking seriously enough, what would it be?
Yeah. I think One big thing I would say is virality is truly not a business. I think gone
Okay.
are the days where you have like followers and you have a couple viral posts and that's enough. That attention is important, but is not the main asset. A
I love that.
lasting business that a creator wants to build is still built on own relationship, recurring conversation, and a community that would truly show up for you, systems that will work for you, right? And everyone in the industry, we talk about the growth of the creator CEO. Oh, all creators going to be CEOs themselves. I love that framing, but right now there's still a gap between aspiration, eventually getting creators there, because there's still that gap in infrastructure operating system. So I think more of them like truly need to embody like how can I take
Yeah,
building a business seriously? How can I get that own relationship, own community, and have the right system to scale for me? I think that's really the gap, and that's not talk enough. It's like it always just stops at a high level. Creators are becoming CEO. Yay, great.
yeah,
Everybody
and
wants, but then if you keep chasing virality, you keep chasing just the views, then you're not actually getting to your ultimate goal.
exactly.
It's really taking a step back. How do you piece that path and journey for you to get there? And I think that would be really important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Joe, I think we had a great conversation. Thank you so much for your time, for joining us, being so open about, what you're building, sharing your insights. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to share with the audience actually before we wrap things up.
Yeah, well, I will be personally at VidCon, of course. My whole team will be, my leadership team will be. So if you're listening and you're still on the fence, please come, join us, come find us, and
Yeah,
take a step to what the future can really look like. That's also partly the space team. So step in the future and a galactic mission and really see
love
what
that.
I can do for you. And I would just love to meet more creators. So come meet me, say hi, love to hear about your story and your journey so far because that's truly what got us into the game that we where we are today.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, again, thank you so much for your time and for such a great conversation. And to everyone listening, that's it for today's episode. Thanks as always for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more insights and conversations from across the creator economy. Bye, Joe. Have a nice one.
Thank you so much, Cece. We'll talk soon.